Hello, thanks for joining us on this Wanderlust Wednesday, October 7th. This evening, we are talking with Career Services about the benefits of study abroad in your future careers. With our study abroad program, we realize that these are unprecedented times. We currently cannot have students traveling abroad. We did not have students over the summer. We brought back students in the spring, and currently in the fall, they are not abroad right now either. We are planning towards the future, and we think that it's best for students to gather resources to learn how study abroad can benefit you so that you can travel when it's safe for you. To get started with the session, I'd like to introduce John Stowe from Career Services. He's going to be talking a little bit about himself, his travel experiences, and how study abroad and international experiences will benefit students in the future. John, I'll send it over to you.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much. Well, I'd like to introduce myself again, I guess. My name is John Stowe. I'm the Career Development Counselor for the College of Arts and Sciences here at ECU. And just a real quick brief thing about Career Services, we're the people that help you go from being students to graduate and become professionals, go out and get your first job. We are the office that provides those tools, teaches those tools, and provides the skills that you need to do all of that. So keep us in mind as you get closer to graduation, or if you're a junior looking for an internship, any of those things, we are the people that you want to come in and check in with to get your resumes together, learn to interview, learn to find jobs and internships, and all of that jazz. You can sign on to Handshake, ecu.joinhandshake.com to set up an appointment with us. And there's our information on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and start talking about studying abroad and how you can take your experience studying abroad and utilize it when you are looking for jobs, when you're applying for internships, applying for jobs, all of that. Because there are a lot of skills that you have acquired while you've studied abroad. And I'm gonna kind of go through some of that stuff and talk with you all about how you can remember and reflect on those experiences. So wherever you studied abroad, now a little bit of background of myself. When I was undergrad, I studied abroad twice in the UK as well as in Belize. Since then, over the last, gosh, 16, 17 years, I have been to over about 46 countries or so. I lived in China for close to a year. I've been all over Africa and Asia and Middle East and other places. I was also raised in the military and lived in Germany for 5 years as a kid. So I'm pretty international compared to most people I run into these days. And I highly embrace studying abroad and the international experience in general, especially when you're a student. So I get it, in other words, and I understand why you studied abroad, and I definitely understand the experience that you had. So you studied abroad maybe last semester, or you're going to study abroad, and you've come back from studying abroad and you had a blast, right? You had a great time, probably stories you're not going to tell anybody, some stories you're going to tell everybody, right? But what I want to talk about is how you take your study abroad story and translate that into marketable skills that you can talk with employers about. And the way I teach this, and I teach this in multiple ways, my big thing is reflection. And I encourage students who have had experiences to really sit down and write down your story. Write down your experience. You're not writing a novel or a short story, or maybe you are, but you're gonna sit down and write down the experiences you had so you solidify those memories in your head. Because these are stories that you're gonna tell people in the future. These are possibly stories that you're gonna tell employers in the future as well, when you're trying to talk about your study abroad experience to employers and convince them that that experience changed you and provided skills that are needed in the workplace. So write down your story. It's also important to write down this story because Well, if you go to graduate school and you're writing one of those professional essays, one of those essays to get into med school, dental school, grad school on any level, law school, elements of your study abroad experience are very important to include in those essays that you write. And just to harp on this a little bit longer, the whole idea of reflection, you had an activity, something happened. You look at the screen here. This is the cycle of experiential education. Something happened, you had an experience, you reflected on it. By reflecting on it, telling those stories, writing them down, you conceptualize them, and then you incorporate them into your life. That's the whole process behind learning, really. When you have any type of experience, if it's studying abroad, if it's an internship, whatever it may be, reflection is how you solidify and find the meaning in those experiences. So some of the themes that you'll probably come across when you think about studying abroad, some of the themes, challenges, skills are some of the ones written on the screen right now. The ability to adapt, leadership skills, obviously communication skills are really important. I mean, you probably had those experiences in foreign countries where you're using body language to try and explain something because you don't know the language or you don't know the words in that language. One that people always forget is money management skills. You know, converting your money into the local currency, and all of a sudden you need to be aware of the exchange rate, right? You don't have to worry about that in the United States, but when you're in Japan or China or in Europe in general, you have to know that exchange rate, so you know how much money you're going to need, how much money you're going to get, and that you're not being swindled, which has happened to me a few times. Up here is the adaptability, the ability to adapt. And I think we can all agree at this point in the middle of our pandemic that adaptability is a skill that is very important. People who can adapt have been thriving in these last 7 to 8 months. And adaptability is something you learn by studying abroad. You all have experienced this. You have left your comfort zones and have gone to a place that is completely foreign to you, literally foreign to you. So your ability to adapt to those environments and realize the resources around you and the people around you and adapt is a skill you will have, hopefully, for the rest of your life. That's also a very strong, very important employable skill as well. Cultural awareness, problem solving, being patient, all of this provides confidence. All of these experiences provide confidence. These are themes that you're going to write about when you sit down and reflect on your experience studying abroad. Think about those things. How did you become more self-aware? How are you a better communicator? How are you more confident and patient now? When you look at the top 10 skills, I only have the top 8 up here because I feel like these are the most applicable skills to studying abroad. These are the top 10 skills employers want these days. Managing ambiguity. Hey, that sounds like me when I was in Kenya for the first time. You know, trying to figure out languages and completely different cultures. Ability to work under pressure. You know, when you're in the airport trying to figure things out. I love the organization one because you think you're organized, and then when you get to your location, your country, you realize that you're not organized, or just getting organized for a study abroad adventure can be a challenge really for any college student who is just learning how to do this, from getting your money ready to making sure you have the right clothes, plane tickets, train tickets, being in touch with perhaps the family you're staying with. All of those things require a high level of organization, and that high level of organization is transferable into the world of work. And that's a story you can tell to employers when you're applying for jobs and internships as you move forward in college. A little bit more about transferable skills. Transferable skills are skills that you kind of have in your backpack, so to speak. As you go through college, you go through a study abroad experience, an internship, maybe you put together a group project, something like that, you acquire skills. It is up to you to be able to take those skills and translate those skills into future occupations. Now, studying abroad, we've already gone through a number of skills that you acquire while studying abroad. You need to think about those, and when you're putting together your resume or you're preparing for a job interview, you need to think about those transferable skills that you've acquired throughout college and throughout your study abroad experience, and be able to articulate those on your resume and in your interview. And I can help you out individually with that if you want to set up an appointment with me or if any of the counselors in career services. It's one of the things that we're really good at, honestly, because you have a lot more skills than you think you do. And we're really good at kind of pulling those out and showing you the skills that you have and that you've acquired. A couple of, I can't go through a PowerPoint without talking about some statistics on studying abroad. 65% of employers consider international experience important for recruitment. I mean, we are living in a global world. We definitely know that now under this pandemic situation. How much people travel, how porous borders are becoming, and for the rest of your life, rest of my life, it's only going to increase. Having global competency is something that employers are going to want more and more of. They want you to have left your comfort zone here in America and have gone on that adventure and had the experience of being in another culture, in another country. 90% are looking for those transferable skills enhanced by study abroad. But they mention openness and curiosity, new challenges, problem solving, decision making. All very important for future occupations in just about any field. A couple more numbers here. 60% employers agree overseas study is a positive, looks good on a resume. 72% of employers agree that knowing a second language adds an appeal to a prospective employee. So if you are studying abroad, do your best to learn a foreign language. The best place, and probably in my opinion, the only place to really learn the language is in the country and through direct exposure to, or direct immersion in the language in that country. Why study abroad? A couple more themes here to talk about. Build a global network of contacts. Don't forget the people you met. Hopefully you connect with them on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you use, or LinkedIn even. Stay in touch with those people. You never know when you might be back in that area. You never know if they might be a job contact in the future. Problem solving skills, international careers. This is great training for anything that might be international, from working for the Foreign Service and the State Department to working for one of the top 5 accounting firms that are located all over the world. And of course, if you're going to grad school, studying abroad is a very good thing to have on your resume. Very helpful thing. As you're putting your resume together, come and see us in Career Services, and we can help you, like I said earlier, articulate your study abroad experience on your resume. You might want to have alternative titles on your resume that highlights your global experience or foreign languages, countries visited. A lot of students I've worked with at ECU have been on mission trips and volunteer trips abroad. Actually, a lot of students have, surprisingly. And of course, cross-cultural campus involvement, working with International House and other foreign students that might be visiting us here on campus. So before I kind of wrap up here, I want to make sure that you all are aware of a resource that is free to ECU students. If you log on to Handshake, onto your Handshake profile, which everybody should have at this point, I think most students have at least logged on once. You log on to Handshake, click on the resources, the Career Center tab, and then click on resources. There's an organization on there called Going Global. It used to be Going Global, but now it's Going Global. And you can utilize Going Global to learn about occupations, or not just occupation, but job opportunities in, I believe it's up to 60 some odd countries. You can click on a particular country that you might want to move to, or a country that you might want to get a job in, and it provides you all the information you need on that particular country, from where jobs are located, how resumes work, how hiring works, cultural questions, banking questions, things like that. And this is a resource that is free to all of you. It's like $20 a country or $19 a country if you don't have the free access that you do as an ECU student. So if you're interested in working abroad, or maybe even an internship abroad, check out Going Global and look into some of the resources that are there and some of the information they provide, because it's pretty interesting and actually quite exciting for some of us who would like to go abroad and may go abroad again. Just real quick, we have a career fair next week if you're in engineering or technology, and the last fair will be graduate school fair on November 4th. And you get marketing for this stuff all the time from me, so I'm not going to push that too much today. Don't forget it, all of the fairs are virtual this year, so you'll need to navigate those by logging on to Handshake and watching this 10-minute video that I put together that teaches you how to register and how to sign up for one-on-one meetings with employers or grad schools. And that is it for me. I'm going to pass it back to Whitney and see if there's anybody that has any questions.
John, thank you so much.
Sure.
We do have a Q&A session now, so if you have any questions, feel free to type them in. To start off with, the question that's come up first is, do you believe study abroad experience is marketable to jobs that don't necessarily relate to the international field?
Absolutely. I think that going back to the idea of transferable skills, I can't imagine a job out there or an occupation out there that would not benefit from the skills that somebody acquires by studying abroad. If it's oral communication, teamwork, just overall the increase in confidence that a student gets by studying abroad, by going to a foreign land and living and thriving, creating new friendships, managing money, managing a bank account, all the things that you would never experience had you never left Greenville. That can only increase your confidence and increase your leadership skills and your overall global view. Those skills are definitely transferable into just about any occupation that you can go into. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but it's pretty substantial. And in the end, on a certain level, it's not always about will an employer, want or care if you've had this experience or not. It's about your experience. This is your life, and it's part of going through college is having these adventures. Having the adventure is something that's life affirming and kind of gives you a more robust life. You will have these memories for the rest of your life. And it might change your major. It might change what you want to do for a living. So yes, I believe that despite what field you go into, there are skills you can talk about studying abroad.
Okay, the next question is, how do you feel your own international experiences have impacted your career?
Wow, I think that my international experience, as far as my career is concerned, I started off working in the outdoor education industry for a period of time. And that's what led, of course, I was raised traveling because my father was in the military, but working in the outdoor industry is where I started working with people. It's also where I started working with college students. And working in that field led into a lot of the international travel that I was involved in. Did a lot of bicycle trips, transcontinental bicycle trips, expedition type activities, things like that, that pushed me towards getting my master's degree in counseling, and eventually settling down and doing the work that I do now and floating into sort of the career psychology, career counseling field that I'm in right now. the confidence that I've had, the ability to work with international students has been one of my favorite things about working at ECU and other universities I've worked at. But it's done more for not just my career, but just my overall view, worldview, how I live my life, my awareness of international events, the friends I have all over the world as well is almost, it's fun, if anything, to reconnect with them quite often, especially during this pandemic time. But I think in the end, after I studied abroad as an undergrad, it was the confidence that I had. I was a different person when I came back from studying abroad. And every student that I've worked with that has studied abroad, even if I knew them before or if I didn't know them before, either I've noticed that they were different people, considerably different people when they returned, or they told me that it's changed them in a way that they're different people. And I think that that's an important thing to go through. It's sort of a rite of passage that really changes your overall confidence level. I keep going back to that. But yeah, hope I answered that.
Yes, you did. Thank you. And looks like our final question is about what services Career Services offers. Specifically, does the office look over resumes and provide feedback?
Yes. So Career Services does a lot. We help you all with everything from deciding on a major in relation to what career you want to go into, vice versa. We help you with all the career counseling. If you have no idea what you want to do, we help you go through the process of figuring those things out. What are you good at? We have a lot of psychological, or I won't say psychological, but assessments that we can put you through so you can learn about your strengths and your values, things like that you can apply to your search, your quest to figure out what you're good at and what you want to do. So that's the kind of the career counseling aspect of it. We also provide a lot of skills and tools. So we help prepare you all for interviews by having mock interviews with you. We help you put resumes together. In the process of putting that resume together, we work on grad school, helping you prepare for grad school, getting your essays written for grad school. That's actually one of the areas I teach on quite often. So basically anything that you need. We also put on all the career fairs on campus, and we connect you all with employers. So we have employers on campus. Right now, of course, everything is virtual. But we're the people that are going to help you go from being students to becoming professionals and making that leap. After 16 years of being in school, you're now at that point in your life where you have to transition into being the full-fledged adult that people want you to be, or that you're expected to be. Start paying your bills and all those things. That's a big and scary jump, and we are here to support you in that process and to make sure you're prepared with the armor and the weapons to go out there and fight for a job and get the job and fulfill your destiny, so to speak. Apply your skills, everything that you have into fulfilling your life and having a fulfilling life. We believe that your career or what you do for a living every day is like your bed. You sleep in your bed every single night, right? You want to have a comfortable bed. Well, what you do during the day for a living is also really important. You do it every single day. So you want to make sure that you're in a job or in a field that you enjoy, that you like, that you're good at. And if all those boxes are checked, you will make money doing it. So we want to help you figure that out, and we want to help you get out there and put your best foot forward after graduation. So there you go.
All right, thank you. So I'd like to thank all of our attendees for coming out tonight, and we want to be respectful of your time, John. I know that you've been in career fairs all day today. I would like to do a quick shout out and reminder of what we have going on next week. Let me see. Okay, so we do have 2 more Wanderlust Wednesdays coming up. One thing I'd like to point out to student attendees is that we have a photo and video contest where first place will get $50 in bounty bucks. And for those who don't know, bounty bucks can be used on campus and in several areas around Greenville. Second place will get $25 in bounty bucks. And next week, we have our sessions on ECU Tuscany. That will be at 2 p.m. We'll have our regular Study Abroad 101 information session, a regional highlight on Central and Eastern Europe, and then for our 7 o'clock session, we'll be having an Italian cooking class where you'll be following along with Nicole Iannari in our office and learning how to make spaghetti frittata. We hope that you'll be able to join us then. All right, we will see you next week. Bye.
All right, thanks, Whitney.